Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I've got my wife here actually, just
I'm here helping.
assisting me getting on to my very first Insta Live. And
there you go, got Steve Woolley.
hi,
Chef Woolley.
hi, Steve. How you doing? And I'm waiting for Rich to come on.
Who you got today? Who you got today, baby?
I've got Rich Henderson, who was the winner of Young Chef, Young Waiter in 2019.
Well, he's bound to be late, right?
Is he?
Is he? Well, he's young, isn't he?
He's young.
He's young. He's going to be late.
I hope he's not too late.
Oh, Karen Draper's joined. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
It's
hi,
nice
Marjorie.
to see some of the names that I know, actually.
Exactly. Hello, Graham Kerr, the Galloping Gourmet. Yes, Mrs. Utree, I totally agree with you.
There's no champagne. Maybe I should have a glass of champagne.
Yeah, where's your champagne, baby?
Oh, I haven't got one.
Should I
Oh my
pop one?
God, my signature. Well, I'm
Feel like
suddenly
you
not
need that.
cooking, and I suddenly realised, one, there's no bell, and two, there's no champagne.
Do you want your bell, my love?
I feel like I'm on the radio. You've got to keep.
You need to watch for Rich coming up.
How do I know when Rich is coming? Rich, where are you?
I told you would see it because hold on. Here you go.
Okay, so
Let me help you.
right. Okay, darling.
Okay, so Rich is going to come on here. I'm being helpful here. Okay, Diego. Corey, hi Diego.
How are you? Good to see you.
Okay, we need the bell. Jojo wants the. Karen's like 3 stone heavier. I'm blaming you.
Okay,
I'll get the bell.
I need more champagne then if I'm going to be so. Okay.
Here, I'll get everything for you.
I'm a bit rusty on this very first instance.
Where's the champagne here?
It's in the bottom of the champagne fridge, darling. So yeah. No, it's not that one. It's at the very bottom of it. Donnie's just got the warm champagne out because we've just had a delivery on the basis of, in fact, I've just had some Gusborne.
Just had a Gusborne delivery. This one?
It's actually the other one. It's good. Do you want to sit here and let me get it? It's got a black.
Tell me which one it is.
Where's Rich?
Yes.
Oh, there you are, Rich, you're there. Rich, join. What do I press? This down.
Yes, accept him.
Where?
The pink one. Hold on, baby.
The pink.
Gosh.
Where's
okay. Rich is here.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look, you just go view, and then go live. He's going to come on in a sec. Oh, well done on the beef stroganoff. Okay. Here he is.
Hello, Rich.
How are we doing?
How you doing? Right, Rich. I don't know whether you've been watching any of what I've been doing in any cooking, but
I'm leaving you now.
there's a champagne bell. There's champagne on everything I've been doing. So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I feel I ought to just
steak
actually have a glass while I'm sitting here. And now my wife's got on to look after the dogs. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm really well, and I've been watching your Insta stories. Here, listen, we've got to get. Sorry about this while you're sort of out. Although you look like you're out in the sun somewhere, so that's really good.
Yeah, I've been making bread for the last half an hour or so, and then.
I know. I've noticed. I've been watching. I'm trying to get into this. I've been watching the bread, and I've been watching your delivery this morning. Was it this morning?
Yes, so it's just in my local village, but they get the same flour that we would use Muse. So yeah, really lucky that I can just wander up, place an order the night before, wander up and pick it up the next day.
That's brilliant, and so good of you to do that. I did like this morning when you were wandering around trying to find the postcode, and it actually, I think you picked it up from the pharmacy and ended up back at the pharmacy or something.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've only done a few drops of prescriptions for vulnerable people, but it just shows me how little I know where I grew up now.
Somebody just said, "Where's your champagne, Rich?" They obviously.
I've got a pint.
Wait,
okay?
there we are. Well, cheers. Well, look.
Cheers.
Listen. The most important thing about today, cheers, is that today is the launch of Young Chef, Young Waiter 2020. I'm really, really, really excited about it this year. And Rich, for the people that are sort of following me, is the winner of Young Chef, Young Waiter 2019. And we'll have a quick chat about how this year's been for you, because I know it's been quite extraordinary. And but this year we've literally started it today. The application forms and everything will sort of slowly roll out in the next week or so. But we're expecting an amazing amount of applications on the basis of the people like you, great young talent, are just sitting at home. Well, you're not sitting at home too much because you're out there delivering, but you know, you're certainly not at your wonderful restaurant at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very lucky that through the competition I met a lot of good people, a lot of good friends, competitors. Ultimately met my new boss, Tom Aikens, as well.
Tom Aikens, yeah.
And then obviously met all you guys, and I just had the most incredible support from the moment I got there, from the people who were organising it, people like Claire, and you know, I just felt super comfortable during the competition. It was such a privilege to be there and be put up in London for 3 nights. You know, absolutely world-beating competition, and yeah, I feel very lucky that I ended up, you know, cooking well and you know, being a lucky winner.
Well, firstly, that's brilliant that you have those great memories, and the most important thing about the competition, and actually, it's really lovely to be able to do one of these Insta lives, because I sort of have 2 lives. I have my wife's life, which is under another name, and I have this life, which is a quite serious life of being the president of the Restaurant Association. And so I've been really enjoying. Oh, Donald, yeah, doing some cooking online. All kinds of things will be going on here, by the way. We've got little dogs and chihuahuas and stuff going on, but and then I have this life, which is to be chairman of this incredible competition and own the competition called Young Chef, Young Waiter, which has been going for 41 years this year, and has produced some amazing chefs. And you are the sort of the way the competition, and you are the way the competition was designed for, where it takes a chef, a really good young chef, and gives you the opportunities to go on to further your career. And who knows where you will end up, you know. And I know our time is limited. We could go on for an hour speaking about where you came from. But I think what would be really interesting for people looking at this is just a little bit about your background and the fact that you were going to stop cooking and where you were, and now sort of what the competition gave you and where you've got to.
So I went to college probably around about 2011, 2010, and I did 2 years there, and then I just did a competition through college that ultimately gave me the opportunity to work at Lucknam Park in Wiltshire. So an incredible 1 Michelin star hotel, 5 AA Red Star hotel, and I was there for about 4.5, 5 years. And I just learned everything. You know, I learned the fundamentals of cooking there. And, you know, I also learned to have like a bit of like a backbone and just stick at it. You know, if it was hard, I wanted to work there. I wanted to, you know, rise up in the ranks there. And then I left and went traveling for a bit. So I went to New Zealand for about 3 months. And then I went and worked in Austria for 1.5 years. And I worked for Red Bull in a restaurant called Icarus in Salzburg, which is a 2 Michelin star restaurant. And they have a lot of guest chefs who go there. So this isn't during the time that I was there, but I'm certain Sat Baines and Claude Bosi both went to Icarus and did little pop-ups there. And, you know, places from all over the world. It was such an incredible experience. I was learning food from Korea and from Spain, Italy, France, America. And this is each month, the menu would run different, every month, different chef. And it was a phenomenal experience. But when I came back, I'd completely fallen out of wanting to cook. I, you know, had a bit of a stumble in the road. And for about 3 months, I completely had to reconsider cooking as a future. And only by chance I ended up going back to Lucknam, and and you know, getting myself in a good team again, with the opportunity to enter competitions again. So last year I wanted to prove it to myself that
And you're at Lutton Park, yeah?
Yeah, Lutton
Yeah.
Park. I wanted to
With dear Harry Murray, of course.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Murray, absolute legend of a man. Yeah, he supported me a lot as well. So I did the Royal Academy of Culinary Arts, the annual awards. So this is our first meeting that I didn't realise at the time, and I'm certain you didn't, is the awards dinner that we went to in June, I think it was.
Yeah.
At Claridge's. We were both there, but we didn't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I was lucky to be one of the 5 chefs who got the Award of Excellence last year.
Marvelous,
And then I think I was on Instagram sometime in September and saw a promotion for Young Chef, Young Waiter. And I read about it and I saw the background that it had Nathan Outlaw and Marcus Waring had all competed in it. And I saw the judges lineup and I was just like, you know, this looks like a real kind of competition that I think I'd like to enter. And I remember the weeks leading up to the actual event, finding out that I'd gotten through and I could pick my protein, and getting the choice of sea bass, wood pigeon, lamb rump, and a whole duck. And I wanted to do whole duck, but I stuck to my strengths. So being from the southwest, I chose fish. I chose sea bass, and then I remember a little bit. It's all a bit blurred. The day I travelled to London for the competition, I was on breakfast at work. So I started at 6 or something, and worked until about 5 p.m. So lucky to get out at 5, and then travelled up to London. Took about 2 hours.
Well, on the Sunday.
Yeah, on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Got up there about 8 o'clock, and everyone already knew each other and had whites, and I was like, oh God, I feel so out of place. But no, I was welcomed when I got there. There's some really lovely competitors last year who I hope enter again. I was speaking to one of them earlier. Alex said that she would enter again this year, and yeah, the
thing is that what we wanted to do, we wanted to completely change the competition. The thought behind it was that the applicants are 26 and under, so you are very much geared to technology, unlike me. I'm trying to work out how this is my sort of just about juggling it all, but anyway. So why not make this a very a competition based online through the first 2 or 3 processes? The chefs equally, to get a great group of chefs on, and we've got Theo coming on at 3 o'clock this afternoon just to talk about this, Theo Randall. To get these amazing chefs on, we designed it last year. Unlike today, they've got a bit more time, but under normal circumstances, they have very little time. They're extremely busy. They're in big demand. Tom Aikens is a classic example.
Yeah.
Amazing talent. And I didn't want to put pressure on them to come to certain venues every so many weeks. So we made a competition that was to be modern, redesigned, but the most important thing at the end was to make sure that we build up a great rapport with the competitors, and equally you became friends and you built your relationships in a very short space of time.
Yeah.
And exactly what you're saying, you got to know people very quickly. And the key to the competition, which is Young Chef, Young Waiter, and it always has been, it was a bit that we were never going to change, was those that go through, and we made it a little X Factor-ish. You will remember
the video
on the evening we were sort of, you're through and you're not. But the ones that were everyone was a winner who came to London, of course. And the people that didn't get through to the next round, had an amazing day. They went up the river. They went off
the
to
Savoy Grill, I think.
Yeah, they had lunch. I mean, it was a great day for those people. But for you guys that got through to the final 6, I think it was, 6 chefs, 6 waiters, you were then paired, and you hadn't met, of course, your waiter.
Yeah, I'd
until
not really
2 days
met
before.
much before.
Yeah.
I'd obviously seen him, but everyone had been competing on the Monday, so I'd not really met him very much. And he was from the Hand of Flowers, and I believe he's still there now. And yeah, it was an incredible kind of like experience to work with someone who you know is talented and also relying on you doing your job well. And I think we stayed up until maybe 2 a.m. on the Monday night talking about what I was going to cook and what wine he was going to serve. And you know, he was a really focused guy. And you know, I think I owe a lot to how much focus he got me to kind of like have for that Tuesday.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Look, I've been involved in Young Chef, Young Waiter. I was the chairman of the judges in 2006, and all the way through with John Sherrode, who was obviously at the finals with us. And then, of course, we have the big party at the end. And let's hope we don't know. The most important thing about the competition this year is that we are able to run this competition all the way through. And even if we wanted to, we could run the final online if we wanted to. That is not the intention. But we have many plans, we have sort of 2 or 3 different routes that we will go subject to the lockdown where we are and when, you know, the restaurant industry and sector comes out of this. Because we're sort of last in line at the moment, us and airlines or someone. I mean, you know, we're sort of last in the chain. So, but I think by then we should be okay, with lots of fingers crossed. But we're the most important thing, I think, right now, Rich, and having you on this morning, and hopefully we'll get this out there. You know, we'll get this video link out there to show people that, you know, there's a lot of young talent sitting around right now. And I don't want them to be despondent in any way, and I want them to be able to be part of something. And whether they get through or whether they don't, they can, you know, you can apply. I think we're going to have an immense amount of applications right now because of the fact that, you know, this young talent is sitting around doing bread at home. Even I'm not doing bread, but I'm doing other stuff. Even like we've got time to cook at home, which is good fun.
Yeah, definitely.
People like you will experiment. People like me will go back in my memory banks and just bring out something from the past.
It's good to see. It's good to see, though. Good to see you. That steak Diane the other day was absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's lovely. Look, if you enjoy it, then I'm very happy. A very good friend of mine, Richard Shepherd, who was, you know, one of the very first Michelin star chefs, English Michelin star chefs in this country. And he said to me the other day that he was enjoying it. So I thought, well, if he's enjoying it, and he's 74 and you're 20, then I'm covering both ends of the spectrum. So I'm very happy about it. So listen, the most important thing was you won. And then you obviously left Lucknow, and then you came to London, and you now work with the amazing Tom Aikens at his incredible new restaurant, which I'm so, you know, it seems you've just started, and then you've had to stop at the moment. Yeah. Tell us a bit more about the journey. How did you get involved with Tom, and tell me about Muse?
Tom was one of the judges for the final, and to be honest, he's been someone that I've always known a lot about from watching things like Great British Menu when I was growing up. I remember he did I think it was a starter. It was like chicken, egg chicken or something. And it was like, it just set my imagination alight as to what Michelin stars were and things like that when I was younger. And I knew that he was one of the judges. So I didn't know who would actually show up for the final. But when he turned up, I was just like, oh my, that's Tom Aikens. Like to the other competitors, like that's Tom Aikens. And I remember him coming up and
hi Karen,
talking to me a little bit about what I was cooking in the final. And I think it all started. I could like sense that he was like behind me somewhere watching me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be nervous the whole time if I don't go over and say hello or something. And he's just standing there. So I went over and said hello to him. You know, he's a really lovely guy, and he asked me a few questions. He's one of the only people who actually knew or know of where I worked in Austria, which is incredible. And then, yeah, I just kept cooking in the final. I was lucky with how my food came out. I remember Tom asking about my souffle, being like, where's your souffle? Or where's your dessert? And I was like, it'll be like 5 minutes, chef. And that was just one of the luckiest things. The oven hadn't worked the entire day. And then the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes when I had the souffle in, it was just perfect. It was like a film, like you couldn't make it up. And then he messaged me a few weeks after saying, if you ever want a job in London, let me know. I've got one in my new restaurant. And I took him up on it. I went off and did a little stage in January, which was incredible. And I think you actually came for dinner when I was on my stage, but I was all nervous because I was.
But you were there that day, so I came. Yeah. I brought in a chap called Xavier from the World Avocado Organization, which is, as you can imagine, quite a big organization. And Tom came over and told us everything he was going to cook for us, which was brilliant. And yeah, I mean, this, you know, you epitomize exactly how I want this competition to go forward, where you showcase young talent. You'd already done really well with the Awards of Excellence, of course, which is amazing. But this competition gives you a little bit more time to shine, you know, and to you're in very close contact with some big name chefs.
Definitely.
And that was, to me, the key was to get some of the big, but not, I'm trying to put a new spin on it. So it wasn't about getting chefs from the past.
Yeah.
About getting chefs that are current today, driving forward with their own. So you would notice one of the judges was Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth Hanson, absolutely.
Who has just been, who is right on Great British MasterChef. Was it Great British Menu or MasterChef?
Yeah, Great British Menu. Yeah,
you know, right now.
She's lovely. I remember she was watching me fillet my bass or something in the final, and I'd heard so much about her because obviously when you're of that kind of age, I think Ruth's 24, I'm 26. When you're of that kind of age, you hear a lot about the other good 25, 24, 26-year-old chefs, and you want to see where you stand with them. And just heard so much about how well she was doing. And then it was the first time that I met her was that final. And she was really lovely. She's really great support as well. Like, I think when you're cooking in a new kitchen, it's nice to get supportive chefs who are judges rather than people who just scare the living daylights out of you. And, you know, Ruth is definitely one of those supportive people.
Yeah.
This week she's done amazing in getting to the finals of Great British Menu and representing the Northeast, which is where she's from. And yeah.
She's been, believe it or not, she's been following, whether she's going to come in today, but she's been following my cooking. God, I sort of, look, I've done a lot of cooking, but I'm just over the moon with the fact that you young guys follow what I'm doing, but I'm definitely following what you're doing. And I'm so pleased that the opportunity that we gave you has resulted in a new career, you know, and some of the chefs from the past of young waiter, Marcus Waring, Mark Sargent, you know, Nathan Outlaw, and these are, you know, very, very, very well-known and well-respected chefs. 41 years is a long time to run a competition, and so these chefs have developed their careers and developed their names, but become household names.
Yeah, yeah.
As I'm sure you will, as we go forward. I really hope you do. And I want you involved in the competition this, you know, already involved. I want you involved in the competition this year. And we're looking forward, as I said, to an amazing event. And I am, because everything seems to have slowed down or stopped pretty much in our case, it's really something that we can all get our teeth into, you know, and we can have fun with it. And we can really keep the positive spin on what is an amazing industry that we're involved in. We're passionate, we're hardworking people. I used a wonderful term yesterday when somebody said, so what are we going to do? How are we going to? And I said, well, you know, we're a great industry. We're improvise, adapt, and overcome. Whatever the circumstances are, we will be there and we'll deal with it, you know. And
it shows me how amazing hospitality is as an industry, how we've all come together in this kind of like hard time to either support each other or, you know, raise money through cooking online and, you know, just cook for the NHS and stuff like that. All these things. I'm lucky that next week I'm going to start cooking for the paramedics in my local hospital, which I'm very privileged to be able to do. I had a team of about 5 until 2 days ago when so many people dropped out. So if it means that it's just me cooking for paramedics, I think at the moment it's between 60 and 100 a day.
Which hospital are you cooking at?
It's for Derriford Hospital in Plymouth, so one of the big ones in the southwest. But I'll be cooking at my old college that I went to, so City College Plymouth,
Really?
because obviously it's closed at the moment and probably due to open again at the beginning of June. So I've only got a few weeks left to be able to use that, but I'm looking forward to giving something back and, you know, supporting the paramedics who are out there, you know, not just helping COVID-19 patients but helping other people as well. It's important to do.
I mean, the hospitality sector itself has been absolutely brilliant in assisting NHS and doing, you know, Claude Bosie did amazing in the very beginning. All his food that he had, they just basically gave it all away because of all this stock, and he continued to do that. I mean, I've seen so many different initiatives from hospitality sector, you know, just helping and doing what they can with delivery, with John at Leon and the amazing stuff he did. You know, I almost feel, you know, what more can I do? I don't know. You feel that, what can you do? I don't know what you can do. I try and do as much as I can with interviews and just, you know, talking up where we are. But I suppose what we can do are the things that we're doing right now, which is to make sure that ultimately the young talent is inspired to be involved in things as we go forward. And one of those things, of course, is Young Chef Young Waiter.
I think that the whole COVID-19 thing could make it a bit of a challenge to get young people to want to follow in this career of hospitality. You know, it's one of the sectors that was hit the hardest because everything's closed. But I think the Young Chef Young Waiter can really attract people to want to continue it as a career because, you know, it's one of those important things. If eating out has gone from a daily thing to something of luxury in the future, then so be it. But I still want to be part of that team cooking for those people when they go out for that special meal, if that's what the future is. And if I could say anything to anyone who wanted to compete in Young Chef Young Waiter this year, it would be the same words that Theo Randall said at Quaglino's just before he read my name out. It's something like, it will really change your life and really change your career. And you know, I'd like to say that it really has for me, and I'm very privileged that I've been a part of it.
Well, I don't think we can say anything more than that. I'm so pleased to be speaking to you. Great to see what you're doing. I've loved to watch your career grow, and I'm sure it's just the start of where you will end up at some point, you know. And I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for being my very first Insta Live guest. I tell you what we are going to do, and I think we're going to carry on with what I'm doing with these videos, but we're going to also try and engage the chefs to come here to my house, and Ruth is going to come, and I know that others are going to come, and it's going to be, oh hello, so lucky to be a judge on and Chef Woolley. Yeah, so Steve was he was a judge on your
my table in the final.
Yeah. Well done, Steve. And And I think we're going to try and also engage, you know, to keep this, the lightheartedness of what I'm doing here, but also to then start bringing in some super talent, and we'll start to really build that as a little show that we're doing, you know. And I think that will just be able to get more of you out of seeing what you actually do, which is cooking, but also we can have a bit of fun as well, and we can have a chat. So, Antonio. So Antonio Salvatore has just joined. Hi,
Love
Antonio.
Judge.
So he has a restaurant in Monaco. In fact, he had a meeting this morning about young chef, young waiter Monaco. So that would be quite cool.
Awesome.
You can see how it's going now, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay, Rich, thank you so much for sparing the time. I wish you all the success, and I'm sure we'll be speaking again really soon.
Yeah, take care and have a lovely rest of your
joining
afternoon.
us.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Not quite sure how I get out now. There we are.